Most people don't have a wealth problem. They have an operating system problem. You can read every book on wealth. You can follow every strategy. You can know the right moves. But if you don't have a system that decides what gets tracked, what gets protected, and what gets allocated, you're not building wealth. You're just making decisions in the dark. Think about your phone. It has an operating system, iOS, Android. It decides how apps communicate, how memory is managed, how resources are distributed. Without it, your phone is just expensive hardware. Most people treat their financial life like hardware without an OS. A bank account here, a brokerage account there, some crypto, some cash. No rules governing how it all works together. No logic deciding where money flows when it comes in. That's not a wealth strategy. That's wealth chaos. A personal wealth OS is the invisible architecture that governs every financial decision you make. It's not a budget, it's not a spreadsheet. It's a set of rules, flows, and filters that run automatically in the background of your life. And without one, you're not in control. You're just reacting. A wealth OS has 3 core layers. Layer 1. The income router. Every dollar that enters your life needs a predefined destination. Most people earn money and then decide what to do with it. That's backwards. Decision fatigue kills discipline. In a wealth OS, income is routed automatically. X% to operations, the cost of living, Y% to protection, emergency reserves and insurance, Z% to expansion, investments, business growth, skill acquisition. This isn't a budget. Budgets are about restriction. This is about routing logic. You're not restricting yourself. You're pre-programming where wealth flows before emotion or impulse gets involved. Example: someone earning $10,000 a month might route it like this: 50% to operations, $5,000, 20% to protection, $2,000, 30% to expansion, $3,000. The percentages don't matter as much as the existence of the rule. Once the rule exists, the system runs. You're no longer deciding, you're just executing. Layer 2. The capital allocation matrix. This is where most people collapse. They save money, they invest, but they don't have a framework for how much risk to take, in what vehicles, with what time horizon. A wealth OS defines asset classes and allocation rules based on goals, not feelings. You might structure it like this: Tier 1, preservation, cash, treasuries, stable value, low return, high access. This is your foundation. Tier 2, growth, index funds, real estate, operating businesses, moderate return, moderate risk. This is your engine. Tier 3, asymmetry, startups, concentrated bets, alternative assets, high risk, high potential. This is your leverage. The rule isn't invest aggressively or play it safe. The rule is, at any given time, I know what percentage of my capital sits in each tier, and I rebalance when thresholds are breached. You're not guessing, you're governing. Layer 3. The decision filter. This is the philosophical core. Every financial opportunity you encounter, every investment, every business idea, every expense gets run through a filter. Most people don't have a filter, they have opinions. Opinions shift, filters don't. A simple decision filter might look like this: does this align with my 10-year identity? Does this compress time or expand optionality? Would I take this deal 100 times in a row? If it doesn't pass the filter, you don't take the deal. It doesn't matter how good it sounds. It doesn't matter who else is doing it. The filter protects you from your own excitement. It protects you from FOMO. It protects you from the noise. And over time, the filter becomes automatic. You stop needing to think. You just know. Let's say you get a $50,000 bonus. Without a Wealth OS, you feel excited. You think about a vacation, maybe a new car. Maybe you invest some, maybe you save some. You ask friends what they'd do. You research for weeks. Eventually, the money just dissolves. You're not sure where it went. With a Wealth OS, the moment it hits your account, the router activates. 20% goes to protection. That's $10,000 into your reserve fund, non-negotiable. 30% goes to expansion. That's $15,000. Your allocation matrix says you're underweight in Tier 2 growth assets, so it goes into an index fund. 50% is discretionary, but it still runs through the decision filter. You consider a car, fails the filter, it's consumption, not compression. You consider a course that builds a hard skill, passes the filter, $10,000 goes there. The remaining $15,000 stays liquid for the next asymmetric opportunity. You didn't agonize, you didn't second guess. The system decided, you executed. That's the difference.
Most people think wealth is about making more money. It's not. It's about building an operating system that makes better decisions than your emotions can. Your OS doesn't get tired. It doesn't get distracted. It doesn't get scared when markets drop or greedy when they rise. It just runs. And over years, that compounding clarity becomes unbeatable. You wouldn't run a business without systems. You wouldn't build software without architecture. But most people try to build wealth with neither. A Wealth OS doesn't guarantee results. It guarantees repeatability. It guarantees that your decisions aren't random, that your capital isn't drifting, that your behavior is governed by logic, not impulse. Wealth isn't built in moments of inspiration. It's built in the space between moments, when no one's watching, when the system runs on its own, when structure replaces willpower. Most people will never build a Wealth OS. They'll keep reacting, keep deciding, keep wondering why it's so hard. But if you build one, if you define the router, the matrix, and the filter, you stop chasing wealth. You architect it. Wealth is built through systems, not secrets.